The mom was so hot. Like Charlie, is the boy Charlie? Is that his name?
Yes, Charlie Frost.
He would have hated me as his neighbor. I would have been all up in that after that death. I'd be like trying to like, hey, how's it going? Oh, I made you something. I start calling him Sport.
Oh
I'm gonna
God.
be your stepdad. I'm gonna be your stepdad.
Lights, camera, and action. Welcome to the I Remember Liking That Movie podcast. Remember those childhood movies you loved? We're going to watch them again and find out if they're still as amazing as you remember. Let's get ready to join Anna and Jimmy as they go back and watch those movies you remember being oh so awesomely good. Horror movies that scared. Comedy movies that dared. And action movies so preposterously ludicrous that they defied the laws of common sense. Now, here's your hosts, Anna Santos and Jimmy Coates.
Yay!
Woo!
Welcome to the I Remember Liking That Movie podcast. We are doing a little different because we're trying it different on this movie because neither of us has seen this movie. So why not?
Yeah.
But we're going to do Jack Frost and we're going to go through all the other stuff what we usually do, but we have actually already seen the movie. But before we go there, let's talk about this. I fucking hate you. This bonus movie,
Good
Good
Morning
Morning
Christmas.
Christmas. Um, I did watch Good Morning Christmas.
Gay.
Gay isn't the best thing ever. I love this movie so much.
Oh, I
And
5 minutes in,
love
I'm
that I
like,
made you watch it.
and I'm looking at this guy going, where do I know this fat plastic dude from? Mark Blucas. And I'm like,
He's
oh,
not
Buffy the
fat.
Vampire.
He's sturdy.
From Buffy the Vampire Slayer and a bunch of other stuff.
Correct. He was the safe choice that Buffy did not make.
Yeah. Did
Mine
he
did
get
was a
some
good
like
choice.
plastic surgery done? Because he looked very plasticky.
That might have just been makeup. Because you can tell he still has lines around his eyes. Like he looks like a normal.
Yeah,
Because
he
this
looks
movie
normal.
is from 2020. So I mean, he's not like Tom Cruise, who
No.
has very obviously been dipping into the plastic surgery pot.
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
want to share your thoughts on Good Morning Christmas?
Well, let's take a look at the preview, and anyone that watches this can get a pretty good idea of my thoughts on this movie. So let's share my screen. That's the one.
The town of Mistletoe has won Deck Your Town with Bright and Mary. We're filming for a week.
Oh, I can't do that.
You need to work on your Christmas.
I'm not really a Christmassy guy. Alison Sweeney,
We wouldn't be a very good couple. Some days we're not even good co-hosts.
Mark Lucas, jingle all the way, do. Good Morning Christmas on Hallmark Channel, the heart of Christmas.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the movie told you nothing. The preview told you fucking nothing.
The preview is their hosts. They work together. They don't like each other. Oh, they're starting to like each other. It tells you everything you need to know right there.
Yeah, it does tell you everything you need to know. It's shitty.
Nobody
And
said this was going to be deep and meaningful.
some tells me this is pretty much the Hallmark go-to. This is like the
No, actually, the Hallmark go-to, like the classic Hallmark, is a woman who is originally from a small town but moved away to the big city to follow her hopes and her
oh
dreams,
yeah,
to
right.
work
Okay,
hard,
yeah.
comes home for Christmas and is put in some sort of situation It depends what the situation is, but there's usually something where she has to work with either a former flame or her high school crush or just the cute guy who bought the house next door, and then they fall in love over the course of Christmas. That's usual Hallmark. This is modern Hallmark.
Jesus Christ. So Alison Sweeney, Melissa, sorry, goes and she has a morning show with Brian called Melissa and Brian, or what is it called?
It's called Merry and Bright or Bright and Merry.
Yeah, okay.
So his name is Brian Bright. Her name is Melissa Mary. Their show is called Mornings with Mary and Bright or
Okay.
Mary and Bright Morning, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a town wins the awesome town Christmas decoration thing, and they go there for a whole week. And
Yes.
he's leaving the show, and she needs to find a new host. And is every man in a Hallmark movie a beta?
He's not a beta.
Well, he might be the most alpha man in this movie, which isn't saying a lot because everyone else is a bitch. So Melissa meets James,
Yes. A
right?
very
And he
nice
seems
young
like a
man.
really nice guy. And
Yeah.
Brian, this douchebag, he's banging Christy, who is like a supermodel hot. And also the waitress is really hot too, Lexi.
Yes.
Yeah, she's super hot too. I will give Hallmark points for that. So he's banging this chick, and then what's her name?
Okay, Christy is his girlfriend. He's not just banging her. Nobody just bangs in Hallmark.
And then I wish this was on Pornhub because would have made it a lot better. And Melissa meets James, and James seems like a nice guy, and they're doing some shit. And then Brian is like, "Oh, screw this! I want to bang Melissa." And
That
then
is not what happens.
so he's banging the Christy girl, who's like this. I don't know what her nationality is. It's a hot nationality, and then he's like, you know what? Screw her. I'm gonna bang the hot blonde now. And yeah, I did not like this movie.
That is not how any of this went.
There were no boobies. There was no hot sex. This movie sucks. I don't know why. After I watched this, I sent you that fucking meme. That one where the guy's like, day one of watching Hallmark movies with my wife. And then it interrupts immediately. He's like, I tap out. I'm done. I'm not doing this. They're fucking horrible.
They are not. They are heartwarming and they are charming and they are light and fluffy and with basically we're on the edge of World War III right now. So you know what? I want the two cranky co-hosts to fall in love and take a carriage ride after kissing with no tongue. I want that in my life. And some people need that. You obviously do not.
No.
And that's
While I was
okay.
watching this, I was hoping World War III would break out and I'd have something better to fucking do.
Nope.
Like go rob all my neighbors of
Nope.
their canned food. And actually, I bought my 7-year-old a gun for Christmas. And off subject, and I bought her
Let's see it.
a hat
Oh my God, that's the cutest little hat.
with the ear flops to go with it.
Yeah. That's a fantastic hat. Why
Awesome.
are you turning your kid into Elmer Fudd?
It's an Elmer Fudd. That's why I told my wife it's an Elmer Fudd hat, and she was not impressed. But
Especially since you bought your kid a gun. I'm assuming it's a toy gun.
RJ, what? This is a Hallmark Christmas movie with Batman. There's no Batman in this movie. This movie is a Hallmark movie.
Wait, no. Mark Blucas,
Oh.
I think, voices Batman.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
If I'm not mistaken, I think he's done some voice work in animation for Batman. I could be wrong though, but he does have a very good voice for Batman.
Yeah, he looked very familiar, and like I said, it was what I remember him from is Buffy. He's been in
Yes.
tons of stuff, a lot of TV stuff.
He's been in a lot of stuff. He's done a lot of like single episodes of things, but he's also been in like regular guest star roles.
I thought there's one here called My Life with the Walter Boy. At first, I thought I was My Life with the Altar Boys. I'm like, oh.
There was a movie I was flipping through.
Oh, A Christmas Present. So he's doing a bunch of these. Doing a few of these movies. Yeah, okay.
He is now a Hallmark Great American Family actor. Like now he's doing Great American Family, which is the more like if you this is so sad. Hallmark is getting a little more progressive. Okay, they're now making Hanukkah movies. they're now making like where the main characters are now. Oh, Michael Keaton. RJ
Oh.
is talking about Michael Keaton.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He was definitely Batman.
Oh, we'll get
Um,
to Jack
we're gonna
Frost,
jack.
believe you me.
We'll be talking about Jack Frost right now. We're focusing on
Yeah, let's deal with one shitty movie at a time.
hey, Good Morning Christmas is a masterpiece for what it is.
Yeah, I guess if you like Hallmark, and they're getting more. I think they're stepping it up because every streamer was going, "Oh my god, look at all the fucking money they're making." I have
Yeah.
an idea. Let's copy them because Netflix has a shitload of new Christmas movies. Prime
Yes.
has a few Christmas movies, all geared towards this. Like Lindsay Lohan, I must have signed a Netflix contract because she seems to be in a
Yeah.
bunch of movies over there,
She's now
and
done, I
she
think,
looks a lot
3
better.
for
Like she looks a
Netflix.
lot healthier.
She looks very much healthier. Like the
Yeah,
first kind of rom-com that she did for Netflix, which follows kind of it's something about Ireland and Irish or something. Anyways, she goes back in time and I think like her crush is getting married to someone else. I know you don't like it. Anyways, she gets to redo her life. It's a thing. And then she's marrying him. I haven't watched it. But I was like, oh, great. Lindsay's getting work. That was my first thought. Then she
yeah,
did one where she has amnesia. That was a Christmas one. And I was like, okay, that sounds kind of funny.
yeah.
All
And
right, maybe I'll
this
watch it. I
year's
haven't
one
watched it. Then
actually,
this year's,
the
yeah,
two they used to date, and then they're dating the brother and sister or
they're
whatever, and
dating siblings. And then they're
yeah,
like, we're not going to tell anyone we used to date because that would make this extra weird.
yeah.
And we don't have to see. And Ian Harding is in it. And I love Ian Harding. He was on Pretty Little Liars. He's a ridiculously attractive man. Anyways, but yeah, no, Netflix does these and Prime when they make their own kind of Hallmark knockoffs. They make the slightly racier ones, as does Lifetime Network. Like I just saw one on Lifetime that was called like Merry Murders or something, or 'Tis the Season for Murder. So I mean, they kind of go either a little darker or a little racier, like people are kissing with tongue, or they actually say they've slept together, or
Yeah.
there's a bunch of naked guys dancing on stage. I think it's the Merry Men on Netflix. I'm gonna watch that this weekend. So I mean,
Uh,
they saw the money and they're making it.
Well, Good Morning Christmas. If you like Hallmark movies, I guess I will say Alison Sweeney, super hot. Kat Rustin, super hot. Kayla Heller, super hot. Uh, Matthew James Doughton, James, who plays James in the
Yeah,
movie, very attractive man.
very
Mark
attractive,
Blucas, very
very
familiar
attractive,
to look at. Yeah,
very familiar to look at.
yeah, but yeah, that's my takeaway from this movie.
My takeaway is that it is fun, it is heartwarming, it is lighthearted, and there is a lot of like cliched Christmas in it. So if you yearn to live in a small town that has all the like small town events and Christmas things and they really care, you would love this movie. I love this movie. I don't want to live in a small town that's super Christmassy. I don't mind visiting though. I mean, if you guys want to invite me to your small town for your Christmas festival, I'm down. I've been to a few. I enjoy them. But yeah, I love this movie.
All right, well, there's our bonus movie.
And I can't wait to pick next year's Hallmark.
Oh my god. Okay, so where's my assets here? There we go. Oh. Now, before we go into the preview, let's take a look because we'll do it kind of like we did all the other stuff.
Mm,
And I'm going to share. I haven't looked at any of this, so this is much as a surprise to you as it will be. Because before I had to set everything, I set everything up, so I knew what it
yeah.
was. I knew what was coming, and
Now we're just doing Christmas surprises.
yeah. And this is kind of because now we're going to take a look at All right. So here is Jack Frost box office. I have not seen this.
Mm.
So it brought in 34 million. Oh my God.
85. Well, I see where the 85 million came from. My God, all of the CGI and special effects.
85 million.
Jeez, how
How
much of
much did
that
they
went to how
pay
much did they
Mike Allen?
pay?
How much did
Yeah.
Batman get paid?
And oh God, who played his what? Kelly Preston. They
Yeah,
must have paid her a good chunk.
yeah, I'd pay her.
Yeah.
She's hot.
Can you
Oh,
not?
she was hot. She died. I forgot all about that, and I checked on IMDb. I'm like, oh, now I'm sad. But yeah, okay, so it has a budget of 85. That did not look like an 85 from 1998. That did not look like an $85 million movie.
You know what though? I saw something in the credits and I was like, "Oh," and they were like, it was practical snow from the Henson Company.
Yeah, the Jim Henson Company did the snowman and everything. Oh yeah, if they're
Yeah.
using
If they're using practical and like with the amount of snow there was,
where were they filming in California?
well, they would have
That's
been
why.
Filming in the summer
Yeah, yeah.
or at least the fall because there's no way. I saw them and I was like, "Y'all ain't cold?" As they're
Oh,
walking around with just their jackets wide open. I'm like, "It's supposed to be December in Colorado in the mountains."
yeah. And it opened on December 11th. Bravo. Good.
Thank
At
you.
least you're in December. And you had a $7 million. You came in third.
Mm.
And you're behind. Oh, you got beat by Star Trek Insurrection.
I liked Insurrection.
It
I
was
don't know why
okay.
people were
It's
so mad about it.
because what started the new generation, what they did wrong is that
Mm,
they made their Generations was fine. Patching the Torch wasn't the
yes.
greatest movie, but it was okay. And then they made First Contact,
Ah, First Contact was
which
so
was
good.
it's I don't know if it's I wouldn't say it's better than Wrath of Khan, but it's right there.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, I
right
agree.
there.
I agree.
And anything else you're gonna make after First Contact is not gonna compare to it.
Exactly. That's why when
But anyway,
Insurrection, when people were like shitting on Insurrection, I'm
it's
like,
not a
it's not
bad
that
one. No.
bad. It's a good movie. It's just not as good as First Contact.
Yeah. Bug's Life is in its fourth week here, and it came in third. It beat out it went past Enemy of the State. That's a good movie too. Rugrats movie. I love The Waterboy. Psycho. Oh, that's a horrible movie.
Jeez.
Meet Joe Black, Babe, Pig in the City. Yeah. So, and then from there, as we see, December 18th, it dropped to 5th, then 10th,
Yeah.
then 11th, 16th, 27th, 36th. It's a bomb.
Yeah. I mean, makes sense.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
All right, let's take a look. Let's take a look at Rotten Tomatoes. Again, I have not seen any predictions here.
I literally just pulled it up already, so I
Okay,
already
so yeah,
know people hate it.
yeah.
Like a lot.
So we got here. Let's share this for everybody. Where are you? Here we go. Share it. Okay, so 19%
Of
from
critics.
the critics and 40% from. So it wasn't the best. Critic consensus, sentimental schmaltz, and uninspired storytelling sink this film.
Correct.
All right, let's take a look. My least favorite Michael Keaton role, Rachel Wagner. It took 4 screenwriters to come up with dialogue so horrendous it could have single-handedly ushered in a new era of silent cinema. You the man.
Jeez.
No, you the man. No, I'm the snowman. Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah.
Matt Brunson, 1 out of 4. There's a Sight and Sound if you want to read that one. Can you read that or no?
I also have it. It's a modern fairy tale complete with a magic harmonica that brings the snowman to life and a picture postcard setting featuring row upon row of twinkling Christmas lights and endless snowy vistas. Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's
Well, Jack Frost is so treacly and fake. It makes you feel like you're trapped in a winter wonderland paperweight. Ugh, deep breath.
Ooh.
Owen
Mike
Gurley.
Kerrigan ends up saying a movie like this is supposed to make you laugh and make you cry, but Jack Frost just leaves you cold. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, it will no doubt appeal to 8-year-olds, but anyone older than that can pretty much be prepared to get to know their watch face very well.
Though
1.5
Charlie's
out of 5. Widget
damn.
falls.
Though Charlie's snowball fight rival suggests that a snow dad is better than no dad, a therapist might differ.
Roger Ebert didn't like it. Now we have proof. It's possible for the Jim Henson folks at Industrial Light and Magic to put their heads together and come up with the most repulsive single creature in the history of special effects. 1 out of 4 as Roger Ebert.
My God.
Yeah, he was a little creepy as a snowman. Now, if you look at trivia, George Clooney was actually signed to do this. And Jim Henson tried to make the snowman look like George Clooney and all the facial things like George Clooney. George Clooney went and did Batman and Robin, and I don't know. That was a
And he was
better
like, I
choice,
have
but
to
yeah.
go into hiding now. Um,
Uh, a year before there was Jack Frost, there was a movie which was a slasher. Yeah, the Jack Frost slasher movie. I think I would have.
oh,
Yeah, that would have been good. Yeah. So, yeah, not very good with.
yeah, no, the critics really did not like this.
Mm-mm.
Now, I wonder what
Uh,
the audience really. Well, I like the very first one. Gave it a half a star. I lost my father in 1997 when I was 5 years old. Watching Jack Frost in 1998 in the theater was a more scarring experience than my dad's funeral. It is a shallow view of a child losing a parent and a horrible movie.
the movie was more traumatizing. Okay.
It is Dad's
Yeah. Well,
funeral.
IMDb, 42,000 people give it a 5.5.
Mm.
Yeah, 157 reviews. Out of all of them, best family Christmas movie ever.
The fuck is wrong with that guy?
This is my year 2021. Excellent family movie. Deccio, Rocker Keaton, Paul Muscat. A great family film for Christmas time. Cuteness all the way. Janglin, underappreciated movie. Ivan Miki, cheesy and beautiful. Jarrat. So some people really liked it.
Yes. Some people really, really did.
Why is this so rated so badly? Sophia Wright, 8. One of the saddest Christmas movies that was ever made. Lisa for today. And ouch, my childhood. Uh, 7 out of 10s. There were 19 of them. Extremely underrated. Running from Satan. A Snow Dad is better than No Dad. Yeah, Slayer 3. A wonderful, heartwarming movie. Funky Cherry 86. What else we got here? I admit it. I cried. Lee B. If you have loved one, don't wait to tell them you love them. Now is the best time because you may not get a chance. I Burke, a great family movie for the holiday. Brandon 7221. Now here we go. Starts off very promisingly, but could have been better. Your typical dad dies and comes back as a snowman flick. Steve 318.
Better as a child. That makes this abominable snowman of a movie was not that bad. It was mediocre at best.
Yeah. Iron Horse 4, unfairly trashed by critics. You gave it a 5 out of 10. All right. Starts off
Damn.
frosting very slowly, then bam! Mark Waltz. Pathetically unconvincing holiday schlock. Wow, that's a
Wow.
big root. Steve Pulaski.
Frosty the Snowman wrote a very bad movie.
Nas Micheal,
And then
boring
the
and
first
slow.
line of that is, where did Michael Keaton go wrong?
Yeah.
Oh, my favorite is the snore.
The snore.
Yeah. The snowman fails as a surrogate dad. Frostbite. It's fantastic.
A slushy mess. Lifeless snowman movie. Little Jack Frost get lost.
Damn.
And it's just getting worse from here. What was the point? Can it keep-
Jackass Frost. Jack
Uh,
Frost is not only a bad movie, but a bad character.
oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. It couldn't get much more stupid.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, oh,
This
here we
is
go. Sorry. Sorry. Who butchered this film? Why? Yeah. You see, he
You see, he
dies.
dies and then he comes back as a snowman. Get it?
Yeah. 1 out of 10. Uh,
Oh my God, letting your child watch this is akin to child abuse.
Michael, what were you thinking? Terrible. This is a Christmas nightmare movie. Okay. Yeah. So, no, they didn't like it.
Mm-mm.
All right. They didn't like it. Let's watch the preview
Yeah.
and then we will go from there. So, let's share the preview. This I actually got ready. Now, okay, I'll ask you after we're done
Okay.
here. Here we go.
Once upon a time, in the town of Medford, there lived a man named Jack Frost.
Happy holidays! You guys are great!
Are all musicians really flaky?
Yeah. He had a beautiful wife and a loving son, but his job kept him away from home.
I brought you this.
You have harmonicas?
I got that the morning you were born. When you play that, no matter where I am, I can hear it.
Then one night, something happened. Something terrible.
It's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. I miss him too. I miss him too.
That turned into something wonderful.
I'm home. Charlie, it's me, it's Dad.
What?
So I'm supposed to believe that you're my dad?
You were the one who played on the magic harmonica.
I thought you made that up.
So did I.
Just hear the selected dance, you know that ring. Get up!
Nah, I don't think so.
Yeah, it's the snowman.
Honey, Charlie's run away with the snowman. Really?
What's the snowman look like? 3 bowls, 2 stick arms.
Hey, that's my branch!
Stocky. Well built.
Shredding! Oh! Hey, I slimmed down. Whoa! Thanks for giving me a second chance to be your dad.
Warner Brothers is proud to present Michael Keaton
I'm a frozen freak of nature.
and Kelly Preston
Freeze, mister.
She's obviously not talking to me.
in the story of a man who got a second chance to be the world's coolest dad,
As long as you hold someone in your heart, you can never lose them.
Jack Frost.
All right. Now I watched your reel or your video there that you were watching the preview before,
Yes.
and you said that you think you're gonna like it.
Yeah, I totally did because I was like, it's schmaltzy. I know it's gonna be a little over the top, maybe a little saccharine-y, but I mean, there's some jokes, and I mean, I'm sure I'm gonna like it. I'm sure.
I was kind of with you. I'm like, this looks. So I brought the 7-year-old in to watch it with me.
Yeah.
What are your initial thoughts? What's your initial thoughts on Jack Frost?
The first 33 minutes of this movie were the longest of my life.
Yeah, they took a long time killing this guy off. I'm like, will you fucking kill him, please?
No joke, I thought we were halfway through the movie.
Yeah.
Like more than halfway. I was like, wow, they're spending a lot of time on setting this up. I guess we're not going to get much time with him as a snowman.
Oh,
That
we sure
was my
did.
actual thought. And then I checked the time and I was like, we're only 33 minutes in.
Yeah.
It feels like I've been watching this for an hour. Like, and that's a bad sign. Also, as soon as I was watching it, and I was like, I didn't notice this in the trailer, but I'm like, fuck, Michael Keaton looks old.
Yeah.
Like he looks like over the hill. I'm still trying to chase my dreams because I refuse to admit that I'm not 25 anymore kind of musician. We've all met those guys. So I was like, this is interesting. Okay. And I just looked up his age right now. He was like 47 when they filmed
47,
this.
48. Yeah.
Yeah.
when we did the
Yeah.
movie.
And Kelly Preston is literally like 11 years younger than him. So I was like, that explains why she looked so young in comparison to him. And I was like, so it ends up giving it a weird, like kind of creepy vibe where it's like, did you groom your wife? Because she's like way younger than you and she doesn't seem to understand. Because she's like, hey, it's okay if you're a shitty husband. That's fine. Could you try to be a less shitty dad? I know you're still going to be shitty, but just try to be a little less shitty. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I didn't hate this. Don't get this. This is not a good movie. It's not a great movie. The dialogue at times was atrocious. The snowman was creepy as shit.
Yes.
The mom was so hot. Like Charlie, is the boy Charlie? Is that his name?
Yes, Charlie Frost.
He would have hated me as his neighbor. I would have been all up in that after that death. I'd be like trying to like, hey, how's it going? Oh, I made you something. I start calling him Sport.
Oh
I'm gonna
God.
be your stepdad. I'm gonna be your stepdad. Kelly Preston, she did. I forgot she passed away in 2020.
Yeah,
Yeah, she was great.
she was.
But yeah, so although I didn't hate it, well, let's go over this movie. I
No.
brought my 7-year-old in because when I saw the preview, I'm like, okay, this is not my kind of movie. I did not. It's not from my. I didn't watch this because I was a little older in the '90s. I would have saw this
Mm.
and be like, no, I'm not watching this. So I never got to see it. I saw this. I'm like, okay, let's bring in the 7-year-old. I'll give you her score after as well.
Oh, I can't
Um,
wait.
mm, all right, so let's go over this. Jack Frost
Yep.
is the lead singer in a rock band based on a fictional town of Medford, Colorado. His focus on his music and hopes that his band will sign a record deal leads him to neglect his family, including his 11-year-old son, Charlie.
Correct.
Yeah, if you haven't made it by 48,
Well, I don't know if his character was supposed to be in his late 40s or, if his character is supposed to be in his 30s. I don't know what's going on. But I was like, sir, if you're still trying to get signed and you've been playing this music for, say, 20 years, it might be time, and you're neglecting your child and your wife for it, might be time to retire.
yeah,
Just
yeah.
play at the local bar. It's
Even
cool.
Buddy got a job at the Home Depot or wherever he was working there.
I think that was his hardware
Hardware
store. Because
store.
remember, this is a small town, super picturesque in the
Mm.
mountains. They would not have chains.
Okay, so a year later, Charlie is fallen. So he's playing. He goes home. He meets his son, or not meets his son. Hangs out with his son and his wife. They build a snowman, and then he's like, you know what? I've been neglecting you. Let's go up to that cabin. They're already in the fucking mountain. I don't know how much more in the mountain you have to get, but anyways, like, let's go up to the mountain, and we'll spend the whole Christmas. The son's like, yeah,
Yes.
fuck yeah. And then he gets a call. Someone wants to see him play. And then he has to bail on his son. His son throws his harmonica at him, tells his dad to go fuck himself.
Not that harsh, but also this is the second time that his dad ditches him because the first time he starts Jack starts
Recording in the
teaching.
studio.
Yeah, for the recording in the studio before he leaves, he's teaching his son about, I don't know, some kind of shot in hockey with the stick and the thing. Anyways, so he shows him once. The kid gets it. His little friend, Mac, is literally like, okay, hurry up. Okay, we gotta go. Okay, we gotta go. And I'm like, you can't tell Mac, hey man, give me another 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, is that anyways? So then he ditches just as like the kid's like, but dad, and he's like, I'm your butt dad. That makes this my butt family, and that's your butt mom. And I was like, I don't fully understand that joke, but I'm sure for like an 8-year-old boy, hearing someone say butt over and over and over again might be super funny because I know it's funny for like 6-year-old girls. They really enjoy it when people say butt.
Yeah, my 7-year-old actually laughed.
Yeah, yeah. They really enjoy that. So
That's
I
when
was like,
that's when I pushed her off the couch and told her to go away.
once again, showing some great gentle parenting there.
So yeah, so he gets ditched a couple times. They're going, and then he's like, you know what? I ditched my family. I'm going back. The band's fine with it. And then he's driving. Cut to a year later. Yeah, a year later, Charlie has fallen into depression over his father's death. One night, he makes another snowman that bears as much resemblance to Jack as he can remember. Okay.
Oh no, because when they built the first snowman, Charlie says, "Oh, it looks like you, Dad." So he built a snowman that looks like that snowman, which looked like his dad.
They should have done a wink, wink, and be like, "You look like George Clooney."
You look like that doctor on TV that mom really likes.
Yeah. And plays the harmonica just before going to sleep. The harmonica is magical after all, as it revives Jack, because his dad did say,
If you play
"You
the
you play the
harmonica, I'll
harmonica
hear
no
it
matter
wherever I
where I
am."
am." Yeah. So, and I get Warner Brothers, every movie studio. I think they realized in the '80s that if you have a hit, even if it's not that great at the box office, not huge, but if you have a good like a
Yeah.
Scrooge or a Christmas Vacation, the money that you can make every
Oh,
Christmas
yeah.
and DVD sales, and it's
'Cause
just never
people
mind just the
will
box office. It's
people
just
will watch it over and over and over again.
yeah. You know how many times I seen fucking Home Alone, and How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
I literally bought a
Every
DVD
year.
of Home Alone and Home Alone 2 this year. And I'm like, every year I watch it. Every year I watch Muppet Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
Every year I watch White Christmas. Like, I have my staples, and now Violent Night is included in my staples.
Great movie.
So good. So good. So also that Christmas, I did cry a little
I
bit.
haven't
The
seen
Netflix
that yet.
animated one. Oh,
Yeah, that's on the list.
I laughed
The
out
kids list.
loud. Oh my God, it was so
It
funny.
looked funny.
Honestly, it was very, very funny. Very, very funny. I highly encourage it. Anyways, but once you have a good Christmas movie, they will roll it out every single year on TV. So it's always gonna be a moneymaker.
Well,
So
I
I think
heard
they were hoping for it.
Paul McCartney makes around $500,000 every Christmas
Yeah.
for the licenses rights to. Oh, what? I just heard it. How many? I've heard it like 1,000 times. It's
Isn't it
fucking.
So This Is Christmas?
So this is Christmas. So all these. This is why every band tries to do a Christmas song, a Christmas album.
This is why Mariah Carey doesn't have to work anymore.
Oh yeah, just on her
She
Christmas
does like
songs.
2 or 3 concerts in December,
Yeah.
and then she never has to do anything for the rest of the year.
Well, that's one song on Paul McCartney. She has a few Christmas songs. She has
She
a
has a
couple
whole
albums, doesn't she?
album.
Yeah.
So good. Her first Christmas album is a classic.
And I'm sure like Elvis's Blue Christmas album probably still make like they just make
Mhm.
money. So I can just imagine when networks and streamers want some Christmas movies for their paying customers,
Yep.
they're going to pay to have these. So I understand why Warner Brothers wanted another Christmas movie. As it revives Jack, transferring his spirit into the snowman, Jack attempts to greet Charlie but terrifies him instead. After Jack uses his nickname Charlie Boy, Charlie realizes that the snowman is his father.
Yeah.
This whole, because it jumps here, this whole thing.
Like, give the kid a more unique nickname that only his dad called him, and his dad didn't call him that in front of other people. I'm like, this is stranger danger. Like, anybody could have known that he was called Charlie Boy. Like, it's not that hard. But I was like, give him something special, something that they share. And
And the snowplow guy hitting him, the
yeah,
snowman, and then the coach, who is played by
Henry Rollins.
Very out of character here. Fucking Henry Rollins playing a hockey coach and a
As
dad.
soon as I saw that, I started. But if you hear the way they talk about that character,
Oh yeah, he's a psych, like he's a good hockey player,
like
but a little.
he's a good hockey player. But I mean, I was wondering what he was doing after he got out of prison. You were just like,
And then you see it's
how
Henry
small
Rollins.
is this town?
That's Henry Rollins, all right. Jack reconnects with Charlie and teaches him the values that he never got when he was alive. Jack convinces Charlie to rejoin his hockey team instead of continuing to grieve over his death. Meanwhile, Matt continues to be friend of the family, while also becoming a father figure to Charlie. I don't know. He didn't really want anything to do. This is played by Mark Addy, who
Yeah.
plays Mac MacArthur. Plus, I did like the beginning where it was the end of the winter break was coming, and Charlie walked over that hill, and it
Yes.
had the sounds of World War II, and there were these both sides just whipping snowballs. That I did enjoy.
The snowball fight is a classic.
Yeah.
Because that's what you do. School gets out. You all go to a park. You all start like throwing shit at each other. Like not
Yeah.
literal shit, but like snow and ice. And like, how many times have you thrown, an icicle at someone?
Yeah.
I did that
Icicle.
one. Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, they were always hanging off the trees in Trinity Bellwoods. So yeah, you threw them at people and you learned how to dodge. This is not hard. Maybe this is why I feel like, if the US tries to invade, I'll fight them off. It's fine.
There's only another paragraph here for this plot. So we also get the snowman throwing the snowballs at the next year's fight, and then
Okay,
the
but
big
can we
chase scene. Yeah.
really quick with the snowballs? So all of a sudden, Jack Frost, who is new in this snowman body, knows how to like windmill his arms while forming snowballs and tossing them out. But he doesn't know that when he runs out of snow from that spot, he can take 3 steps back and do it again because there's more snow back there.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, I'm out of ammo. Nothing I can do." And I'm like, "You're literally surrounded by snow."
Yeah. And then the big snow chase.
That was the longest fucking scenes. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, why are we still snowboarding? Why is this still happening?
This was a long movie.
It was way longer than it needed to be.
Yeah. And here we go. On a warm Christmas Eve, Jax begins so he finally believes that this is his dad, and they start connecting, and it's getting warm out this Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
So they need to go somewhere where it's cold. So they decide to go up to the cabin to where it keeps cold. On a warm Christmas Eve, Jack begins melting and struggles to get to Charlie's hockey game, but makes it. This is where he hooks up the dog to the sleigh.
Yes.
And then he has to walk across the parking lot, and he gets inside, and no one notices this giant fucking snowman walking across, whatever.
Yeah, no.
Afterward, Charlie decides to take Jack to the mountains where it is colder, but has a difficult time convincing Gabby. Yeah, he goes right to the where she works at the bank.
Yeah.
He's like, that's the snowman. And Jack and Charlie arrive at an isolated cabin that the family is going to stay at for Christmas before Jack's death. Jack calls Gabby, nonchalantly asking her to come to the cabin to pick up Charlie. Gabby is shocked but recognizes his voice and obliges. Jack tells a disheartened Charlie that he must leave. When Gabby arrives, the snowman shell dissipates, revealing a human Jack in the ethereal form. In an ethereal form?
Ethereal.
Jack tells Charlie he will always be with him, and after bidding his wife and son farewell, return to the afterlife. Yeah, and there was some snow. Okay, it was some
I hate
snowman
that
hijinks, and yeah. Well, okay. Before we get to the rest of this movie, my 7-year-old cried.
I mean,
because it's like the dad, and she was always, where'd he go? How'd he die? What happened? and then the snowman has to go and leave. She was fucking bawling. She turned to me with like just crying and like, I don't ever want to watch this movie again. I'm like, please don't ask me if I'm gonna die. Please don't ask me if are you gonna die? I'm like, oh fuck this movie.
And then you had to do the sweetie.
No, never.
So see, in my house, it would have, if I had asked, are you gonna die? My parents would have been like, of course we are. Why would you ask that?
Yeah.
Of course we're gonna die. Yeah. No, I thought honestly, I was like, oh God, a dead dad coming back to life for a little bit, and then he's got to leave. I was like, oh God, this is gonna hurt. I'm gonna cry. Definitely gonna cry. So I watched this first, and then I watched Good Morning Christmas. So after I watched this, I was like, I'm kind of glad I have Good Morning Christmas because it's better than this.
All right. Okay. So what's your score of this movie?
Skip it.
Skip it.
Skip it. You know what? The storytelling is shit. They spend entirely too much time on the wrong things. For $85 million, the effects should have been better.
God, that's
in 1998. The effects should have been better.
Yeah, I would have said, if I had to guess, I would say, oh, this is a mid $30 million movie. Like,
yeah,
I would never have guessed $85 million.
No, that is entirely too much money for this movie. The very obvious age difference between Michael Keaton and Kelly Preston, because he looks old. She looks very young. Like, she looks even younger than what her age was. And it makes for a weird dynamic. Because I'm like, you know how normally they have like, but it's women who are older or have, like, she works as a teller at a bank in a very, very small town. And I'm sitting there going, I feel like she hasn't lived enough life.
Yeah, because I think she was born in 76.
No, she was born in 62.
Okay, yeah.
So she's 11 years younger. But she has always, like, in this movie, she looks young and fresh.
Yeah, she does.
She was apparently in her 30s during this movie, like mid-30s. I would have given her 26 or 27.
Yeah, she's super hot.
When you see Michael Keaton...
She's a MILF.
Rest
You're like,
in
hey,
peace.
Hey, sport, where's your mom?
Stop. So when you see Michael Keaton, who looks his age at 47,
going through a midlife crisis with
trying to be a rocker. Yeah, it was a very, very, oh God, it reeked of, you left your wife for the younger woman,
Yeah.
so you could feel young and vital again. And I think that was why I was not that sad when he died. And I was like, you were already a super shitty dad. Like, I saw barely any interaction between him and the kid. It was just like, and I know they did that to establish that, like, he's kind of in his life, but not really. But it just read as like, oh God, you're leaving to go back to your other family. It felt, there was a little bit of a creep factor to it. So all I'm saying is, no, I don't want to watch this, and I don't think anybody else should. I'm sorry, Michael Keaton. I like you.
I agree with you. This is a skip it. It's just, they had a really cool idea. If you would have brought him back as an angel that no one else could see but the son, the guy, like, what was that one review said? It took 4 writers to come up with this dialogue. Like, Jesus Christ. So you should have hired someone else. Like, if the dialogue was a little better, maybe do the angel route instead of the creepy snowman. And this could have been a very heartwarming.
Yeah. I mean, if they were going to do the snowman,
jerker.
Sure, but do it like Netflix did with Hot Frosty, where it's like a snow carving as opposed to like, or if you're going to do the regular snowman, sure. But I was like, his hands were grabbing at things, and I was like, his branches don't have fingers. There are only 2. Why in the mittens? What? Like, there was some stuff where I was just like, what the fuck? But yeah, no, this was not a good time. This was not a good time.
No. Yeah, see, it's even the AI. I asked how much Michael Keaton got paid. There's not much information about how much Michael Keaton was paid for. Keaton reportedly earned between $5 million for his role in Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's Jack Frost. Yeah, no, there's nothing. They don't want to tell you. They're embarrassed.
They're like, we don't want to tell people how much we paid him.
Yeah, no.
This movie.
This is a skip it. It had the right idea. It had something, and they just across the board. The only thing you did right was have Kelly Preston as the mom.
And honestly, the kid
was all right.
Good.
Yeah,
the kid was good. His bully was like just quintessential 90s douche.
Yeah.
So you really enjoyed it when he got hit by a snowball. I'm like, the kids were great.
Yeah. Snow bad's better than no dad. Oh, fuck me.
Honestly,
Jesus
I
Christ.
think they just had a whiteboard of like puns and dad jokes, and they were just shoving them into the script. That's what I think was.
Oh man.
Yeah. This was not a good time.
No.
It was not a good time.
No. So if you're listening or watching, tell us what you thought of Jack Frost from 1990, starring Michael Keaton, in the comments below or in the comments onto the side. Yeah, 2 skip it's. Anything you want to add to Jack Frost?
Nothing to Jack Frost. This movie should die. Just take it away. Hide it away from the people. Don't leave it out there for people. It feels like such a waste of time.
Now, I will say this. If you do have 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds, 8-year-olds, kids, they would probably enjoy it. There's enough silly humor. But if you also have 6 and 7-year-olds, the ending might ruin them.
I mean, maybe if you have 6 or 7-year-olds that you've already had the death conversation with,
or you want to have the death conversation,
or you want to have the death.
Great
This is a
introduction.
great vaulting point. Like, this is where you want to start. Let's talk about how the dad dies.
Yeah.
Then he comes back to life as a snowman.
Cancer?
Then he dies again.
Yeah.
But this time we think for good. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, thank God there wasn't a lot of it bombed because there's no Jack Frost 2. Because if it made a lot of money, they would have brought him back.
Oh, 100%. 100%. But yeah, no, it makes sense because it's like you said, the idea is great. The idea is absolutely great. It's the execution of it that just failed miserably. And it made for a movie that at times, well, actually most of the time, felt way too long.
Yeah, it was a long. How long was this movie?
It's an hour and 47 minutes.
That's
And then on top of that, it felt like it was twice as long because it was just dragging and it wasn't very well written. And it was just like, it's one of those things where you're like, oh, like the chase scene. I was like, they're still fucking chasing?
Yeah.
They've been chasing forever. This is ridiculous. Why? Because you needed to fit more jokes in? I'm like, it defeats the purpose and you get thrown out of the movie. So it's not even that fun to watch.
Yeah. That's a head scratcher. 85
Yeah.
million. The dialogue, I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know. God bless them. People are still like, that's a Christmas movie. Let's put it on our streaming service.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good morning, Christmas. If you like Hallmark movies, I guess you'll like it. If you've never watched it before, you're not a Hallmark person.
It's one of the fun ones, guys. It's one of the fun ones.
Oh, I hate to watch one of the other ones.
Well, no, there are some that are just too schmaltzy, and I'm like, guys, come on. It's giving me a cavity.
And 1998 Jack Frost. We have 2 skip it's. Like I said, tell us what you think in the comments below. Yeah, and until the next movie we remember liking.
Congratulations. You just had one of your childhood movie memories vindicated. Or they just eviscerated it. I don't know. This is a generic one-size-fits-all type of ending to the podcast. So thank you for listening, and please join Anna and Jimmy next time for another episode of the I Remember Liking That Movie podcast. If you dare to go back and watch that movie you remember liking.